Hello everybody, my name is Kira and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to be talking about 5 book series that I don't plan on finishing. I did a video that went up a couple days ago of 5 book series that I want to finish, and this is the continuation of that, just the opposite. So let's get into the video. Starting off with book series number 1, The Wolves of Mercy Falls by Maggie Stiefvater, aka Shiver, and then book 2 is Linger, and book 3 is Forever. I love these covers of these books. I don't know why, and they just really call to me, but I only read, well, I don't even know if I can technically say that I read the first book in this series, trilogy, whatever you want to call it. Shiver, I checked this book out of the library 7th grade, 8th grade, and when I was reading the book, a whole section of the pages were missing from the book, like there was just a whole chunk missing. I was reading one page and then I flipped and it time jumped intensely from what was happening to a new area, and so I turned it back into the library and told the librarian hey, this is missing half of the pages that are supposed to be in the book, and she was like, oops. And I never picked the book back up again. And I don't really know if I regret it all that much. I know this book series is about wolves. From what I can remember, I was kind of invested in it. I don't know. I know it's Maggie Stiefvater's introduction into writing, and the big series everyone loves from her is The Raven Boys? I think that's what it's called. I haven't read that either. I kind of want to read it. It seems interesting. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on this one. I just don't. After not having half the pages in the book when I checked it out at the library, my interest wasn't high enough for me to try to get it from a different source so I could read it and then continue on with the series. So there's that. And then book number 2, series number 2, that I plan on not finishing. This is also a trilogy, also might not be a very popular opinion, is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I have a rant review on my channel from a long time ago about this book, and the second book I rated To All the Boys I Loved Before 1 star, and I'm pretty sure I rated P.S. I Love You 1 star as well. I do not plan on reading Always and Forever, Laura Jean. I think that's what the third book is called. These books infuriated me. I picked up the first book because I loved the movie so much. I watched it on Netflix. I thought it was super cute, and so I was like, well, obviously the book has to be better because the book's always better, right? Wrong. I hated the book. My review is super short and to the point, and I still stand by it. I thought the book was better than the movie. I don't know why Josh kissed. I don't know why, but when Josh kissed Laura, it upset me. I thought Margot was a bitch, and fuck you, Peter Kavinsky. Peter was just a giant douchebag throughout the entire book. Just giant douchebag. And I didn't understand why Laura Jean picked him, and the only reason why I read the second book was because I was hoping that Laura Jean would end up with John Ambrose, just because I hated Peter. I didn't care who John Ambrose was. I didn't care what type of person he was. I didn't care. I just didn't want her to be with Peter. And then I read the second book, and I loved John Ambrose. He was the perfect guy. He was so sweet. He obviously liked Laura Jean, but for some reason she still picked stupid Peter. And so then I vowed that I was never going to read the third book. And I also watched the second movie in hopes that maybe I would like it like the first one, and then I didn't like the second movie either. Something about it just didn't, I don't know. Because in the second book, all Peter does is put his ex above Laura, and then she kind of emotionally cheats on him because she's just spending all of her time with John because Peter is spending all of his time with his ex. And Kitty chooses Peter over her sister, which is such a fucked up thing to do, and it was just, I don't know. I don't plan on reading the third book. I know that the third book is pretty much just her deciding on whether or not she's going to continue dating Peter going into college, and I don't care to read about that. So that's All the Boys I Loved Before. I don't plan on reading the third book. I'll probably watch the third movie when it comes out, but if it's anything like the second movie, I'm going to be disappointed in that as well. So moving on to the third book series that I don't plan on finishing, which is the only book first book that I own, which is, oh, I hit myself in the head with it, which is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I never actually rated this book because I read it way back in high school, but I would probably give it like 3 stars. I liked it. Wasn't my favorite thing. Wasn't terrible. Definitely some probably problematic things in it, just considering the subject matter that it involves. I very much liked, what the fuck's the main character's name? Louisa. Just, she was very like quirky and stuff, but main reason why, me personally, I don't plan on reading the other books. I know there's like Still Me and like After You or something like that, is because I feel like this book is a standalone. I don't think it needs anything extra. And I remember when I saw the second book in Barnes & Noble, I read the back of it and I was just kind of like, there's no point in it. I feel like this is just a standalone book and there was no need for there to be 2 more books to come after it, and that there's not enough subject matter in here to have it continue on to be 2 more books. So that's the reason why I'm not continuing on with this series, because in my eyes it's not a series. There's just the one book and it's Me Before You, and there's the other 2 don't exist in my eyes. I also watched Paperback Dreams. She read both of them because she had one of them, the third one, got nominated for like a Goodreads award or something like that, and she was reading those, and she even had the same type of opinion where she just feels like there was no point in them and that nothing happened. So that just proves that I don't feel like I need to read them. So that's the 3rd book series that I don't plan on finishing. Book series number 4 that I don't plan on finishing is the Checkmate Duet series by Kennedy Fox. I read the first book, This Is War, and I gave it 1 star. I also have a review about this book on my channel, and we'll link it in the cards. Then I read This Is Love, which is the second book. I gave this one 1 star. Then I also read This Is Reckless, which is the 3rd book, and I gave this one 3 stars. But I don't plan on continuing with this series. My main problem with this is I don't think that this series needs to be 6 books. A lot of the drama that happens in the book is really drawn out to make it to where there's 2 books worth of content, because it's almost like, it's more like there's 3 duologies and then they're all companion novels to each other type of thing. The first 2 books, This Is War and This Is Love, go with Viola and Travis, which are the most insufferable characters to ever read about. They literally just like, it made me feel like my mind, like my brain was melting. They were terrible. And then the second 2 books follow Courtney and Drew, which Courtney is Viola's best friend and Drew is Viola's brother. I read the second book. I read the first book with Courtney and Drew because I actually liked them as characters, which is why I gave that book 3 stars. Courtney and Drew actually seem like decent people. They're decent characters to read about. My only main gripe with that book, which is why I gave it 3 stars, was the drama continued to be drawn out to a point where the second book to me doesn't seem like it's justified, because in the book with Courtney and Drew spends half of the book pining over his ex-girlfriend who's crazy, and then him and Courtney drunkenly hook up at Viola and Travis's wedding, and then there's like a little bit of time where Drew doesn't remember them having sex, but like he does remember because he drank so much, and like Courtney remembers, and then they get together, and then Drew's ex-girlfriend just becomes this like reoccurring problem that just keeps on like popping back up, and it's just like she'll pop up, cause drama, everything will be okay. Then she'll pop up, cause drama, everything will be okay. Pop up, cause drama, pop up, cause drama. And it was just like, they just kept on bringing her back as a character over and over and over again to just cause drama. And I feel like the entire second book following these characters was just going to be was them following her and causing her drama, because the book This Is Reckless ended on a cliffhanger because she caused more drama. And I don't care for that. Other 2 people, their names are Logan and Kayla. They get brought up. Logan is Drew's like partner because Drew's a cop, and Kayla is Courtney and Viola's friend. And so then the last 2 books are like in between them, and I don't know. I just don't care for it. Too much unnecessary drama that keeps getting brought in that I don't think is needed. So I'm not going to be continuing on with those. If you do pick up any books from this series, I would recommend This Is Reckless, because that's the only one that I liked. kind of. But I do plan on reading more books from Kennedy Fox. They do have like over 20 books in whole. This was just the first ever series that they did, so I would assume that their writing has grown. So there's that. And then moving on to the last book series that I don't plan on finishing is the Avery Black Mystery series by Blake Pierce. I read the first book, Cause to Kill. I gave it 2 stars. This follows Avery Black, who is a detective. She used to be a lawyer, and then some shit went down, and now she's a detective. She's constantly undermined in her field because, oh, she's a woman, is trying to prove that she can do her job to all these men who just, like, think that she's incompetent and stupid. And so a lot of it's just her battling with she has a drinking problem, she doesn't get along with her daughter, there's this killer that's kidnapping girls and killing them, and then turning them into lifelike dolls and then leaving them different areas in the city. And it was just too much. There were, between the men constantly dragging on her because she was a woman in the police force, to her being drunk and dragging on herself for being in the police force, and her drama and the weird evil villain chapters from the killer's perspective. It was just a lot. I didn't really enjoy it. It was free on Kindle Book, which is probably part of the reason why it's free, because it's not very good. There's like a lot of books more in the series. I don't know exactly how many. I think there's like 12 of them. And I have no interest in continuing on reading from Avery's point of view. She did not no, I don't care for it. So yeah, that's that's that. That's the end of this video. Those are 5 book series that I don't plan on continuing with. If you have read any books from these book series, please comment down below and tell me what ones that you've read, and if you have finished any of these book series and how you feel about them. Maybe I will change my mind in the future and actually finish one of the series. But right now, I don't plan on it. I have other books that I want to read. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more of my face, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because I post videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!